After 2 long years without a stuff pack, The Sims 4 has finally released a new stuff pack, and the question of the hour is it worth it? Hi, I'm Brian Pickle. Welcome to the channel. Let's get into it. Is The Sims 4 Home Chef Hustle stuff pack worth the $10? As the first stuff pack released in quite some time, so much time in fact that many people, myself included, thought we'd seen the death of the stuff pack. This pack has a lot to live up to, especially considering that the last stuff pack, Paranormal Stuff, was arguably the best stuff pack to date, giving heaps of fun new gameplay. Not to mention the fact that we already have a kitchen stuff pack, which left a lot to be desired. So suffice it to say, the pressure was on for the Sims 4 team for this pack to do well, and in my personal opinion, I think they have achieved that goal. I have thoroughly enjoyed this pack thus far and have probably still only scratched the surface of what it has to offer. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's go through the pack in detail and you can all decide for yourself whether it's something you want to shell out $10 for, which is not a small number really if you consider the sheer number of packs now available in The Sims. If you're like me, a collector, and have basically all the packs, you've spent hundreds of dollars on The Sims. So let's dive into all of the details. As one would when starting any new game in The Sims, let's start with the new CAS items. While I personally am not the most stylish of people, nor do I spend an extensive amount of time in CAS, even I am always excited to have new clothing options in The Sims. I'm always looking for the next outfit combo I'll use on all of my favorite Sims for months and months. So let's check it out, starting from the top with new hairs. There are 2 new masculine hairstyles for your choosing, both of which are available from children onward, and one of them that is also available for toddlers. For feminine hairstyles, there are technically 5 new hairstyles, but in reality, however, it's kind of just 2. One that comes with a total of 4 variations, one with a head wrap and a solid color, one multicolored with the wrap, one solid color without the wrap, and the final, the multicolored with no wrap, and the other hairstyle is a cute little updo with a headband. All are available from teen and up, with the single colored variants available for children, and none of them are available for toddlers. Now, this is a common criticism of these kinds of hairstyles within The Sims in general, not with just this pack, but going through the ones with the accessories included, if you want a specific swatch of the accessory, if I want this orange color, I have to get this hair color. If I want this red headband, I have to get the green hair, which just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense and isn't exactly what one might always want. But again, that's a criticism with The Sims 4 hairstyles that come with accessories in general, not just a problem with this pack. There are no new facial hairstylings, which, although disappointing in my opinion, as I love to give my male Sims some facial hair, it isn't all that surprising considering it's a food-related pack. Probably best not to have much facial hair flowing around while food is being prepared. There's one new hat for both masculine and feminine styles, which is an adorable cupcake beanie that I absolutely love, and it is available for all ages from toddler and up. So you can dress your little babies in it to your heart's content, and I absolutely think that is a wonderful addition. I'm glad they decided to include toddlers in that because they look truly, truly adorable with them. Oh, and actually it is available for infants as well. I forgot to mention that. And they look super, super cute sitting in their little cupcake beanies. I'm glad again that they did decide to include even infants just a little bit in this pack, even though it's obviously not really made for infants or anything like that. I'm glad they gave them a little something. There are a total of 4 new accessories for both feminine and masculine Sims, 1 necklace, and 3 earrings. The earrings come in whisk, pizza, and knife variations with several swatches for each, and the necklace is a whisk as well. A really cool fun detail on the pizza earring is that each of the variations have different kinds of pizza on them as well. Like one of them has pepperoni, one of them has like olives and mushrooms. So I think that's a really fun detail. And there are no new makeup options. Then, moving on to the clothes, there's 1 new styled outfit each for masculine Sims and feminine Sims. So for the masculine Sims, a nice little t-shirt with towel combo and a tiny apron. It also comes with the 1 pair of new pants that come with the pack and what appear to be the Sims version of Crocs. Then for the feminine Sims, there's this lovely little chef, coat, and pants combo. Really fitting in with the stuff for this pack and designed to make the most use out of the new items and the appliances and the food stall and stuff. It goes really well with all of those things, and again, not so well with literally anything else in the game, but it is great for all the things that come with this pack. It really fits in well. Then for both feminine and masculine Sims, there are 5 new t-shirt options, new shirt options, new tops. All fitting in, again, expertly with the whole kitchen theme of the pack. So first is a cute new hoodie with its various swatches. Then you have this rolled sleeve t-shirt with its various food-related swatches as well. Next is the chef coat. Next is arguably my favorite new shirt to come with the game, while technically under the masculine category, can work just fine again on feminine styled Sims, of course. Just uncheck the box for feminine, it'll show up. But I just love this one with its little towel over the shoulder. I think it's super cute, though I do wish it came with a variant without the apron as well, but I'm just splitting hairs at this point. And the final one is the same t-shirt, is this plain t-shirt with a little bandana scarf. That is the same for both Sims. Moving into full body outfits, we've got 3 new ones for both stylings of Sims, 2 of which are shirt and apron combos. We've got the short-sleeved one with a shorter apron as well, and then the more old school sort of one with the longer apron and the more feminine styled blouse underneath. Both come with dirty swatches with food stains and patches of flour on them, which again I think is just a really fun, adorable detail that you can use for storytelling purposes and such. I just really love when they give you a couple options, some that are not so clean and perfect. Then for the masculine styled Sims, you still have the 2 shirt and apron combos, which are very similar to the feminine ones, but predictably, again, just more masculine in style, with more masculine t-shirts underneath and things like that. Again, they also both come with the dirtied swatches. Then finally, both have the jumpsuit, which we saw in both the trailer for the pack, as well as talked about in the Sims Summit when the pack was announced. Another favorite of mine is this jumpsuit. It just has some fun food-themed swatches to go along with the pack theme, of course, but it also has plenty of simple swatches as well that make this usable in any context, which is great. I absolutely love it when cast items have a bit of versatility and things that you can use for any Sim at any time. For both masculine and feminine styles, there's just the one new pair of pants, which combine well with the chef coat specifically, but can easily go well with just about anything else in the game. Then there's 2 new accessories as well for each style of Sim, both of which are just gloves, a short and a long version. And then for shoes, it's just the Crocs, which I'm also super in love with, and it's super realistic to have them in this kitchen pack. When I worked at a restaurant, half the line cooks wore Crocs to work. Some of them had really fun little designs. They were fun. And they're super comfortable for that kind of work, so I like that they put them in this pack, as it just works so perfectly. But that is it for the new cast items. That's everything. However, while not strictly a cast item, there's 2 more new things going on here, and that is the addition of 2 new aspirations. I am firmly of the opinion that the more aspirations the better, so I am thrilled at the addition of these. Though predictably, they are very specific to the items in this pack. The first is under the wealth category, called Market Magnate, and is of course related to using the new food stall. This Sim wants to operate the most profitable food stand. The other is naturally under the food category and is called Appliance Whiz. This Sim knows their way around small kitchen appliances. But speaking of the new appliances, let's dive into live mode and check out just that. And by live mode, what I really mean is build or buy mode, because I want to check out all the new items that come with the pack. So I've set up this little lot here, giving ourselves a little Sim to play with as well before when we check out the gameplay aspect of things. But here I've laid out everything new in the pack in the build buy mode. So starting with, the basics, you have all of these new tile wall splashes. So these are just under, it is the only new wall that comes with the pack, but I absolutely love it. It comes in all these different colors and it has floor tiles to match it. Then for other wall items, you have these wall shelves, which are very IKEA-esque, and they have little lights underneath them, which is super cool. I love that. I love the floating shelves look myself. Then you have this dish drying rack, which can go just on the wall, kind of anywhere that you want it to, but obviously like over a sink or something would be an ideal place to put it. Over here we have all the new counters in all the available color variants. And then here we have the bar counters. And you can see them from the front. They're exactly the same from the front. And the only difference, obviously, from the back is there's room for stools. Speaking of stools, unfortunately, there are none to go with it, which is a little bit disappointing, but not a deal breaker at the end of the day. Over here, I've set up the counters so that you can get a look at how they would look in all the different variations that they come with. So the end pieces, the corner pieces, just your regular middle piece, and then again, both outside and inside corner pieces, etc. So those are for the regular counters. Over here, you have the bar counters and all of their variants, including the different corner pieces and the inside regular middle piece. And they come with these lovely little shelves, which you can actually place things in, which is super cool. I love that you're able to do that, but I think that functionality is super cool. Then here in the center, you can see a way to create little islands with the new counter pieces and how that might look. Then here in this room, we have these ceiling hanging shelves. And the only difference between the variants of these is the height. So depending on the wall height that you have for the room that you want to place them in, you'll need either the short, the medium, or the longer version. And they do need to be enclosed in a room as they hang from the ceiling. So just keep that in mind. They can't just be hung without a ceiling. Then if we come over to this wall, we have all of the cabinets in all of their different color variations. So same swatches as the counters, of course, as usual, as one would expect. Then over here, we have the different variations that you can get with the auto counters or auto cabinets. So we have like an end piece here, the corner piece here, which is really nice. Get a better look of it up here, which does combine with another corner piece to make like a longer one. Then we have the tall floor length cabinet there, the shorter one up here, and then we have the range stove hood over here, the new stove, and then the outside corner piece and the other end piece. Other new items include the fridge, of course, which is the first time we finally have a fridge that fits perfectly underneath its matching cabinet. And then if we move back over here, we also have the new dishwasher that comes with the pack. The only gripe with this, a very nitpicky issue as well, is that you can't pick what side of the counter it goes on. It will only go on this side of the counter. And then it has, of course, its own different swatches as well. Then we have a new sink as well, again, with a lot of matching swatches to go along with the counters and cabinets. Other new items include the clotted cream and jam jars. Again, has a couple cute little swatches to go with it. Nice little decor items. Then we've got like this can of tomatoes for more prepped ingredients kind of things going on. We've got a little spice rack here. Again, more swatches. Looks really cute on the shelves, goes really nicely. I am a big fan of clutter. I tend to actually forget to use it in my own builds, but I do love the clutter items, and I'm glad that we have quite a few added with this pack that really round out your kitchens. Then we have a nice recipe book, which can work for all sorts of things, not even just recipes. Like you could have this on a desk with this notebook swatch, and it could be like a homework or like a home office kind of thing. Again, super versatile, which is great. I love when the items have a little bit of versatility so that you can use them outside of the very specific context of what the pack might have been. Then further down, we have the food scale, couple swatches that match really nicely with the sort of, I don't know if you would call that pastel, but this very sort of muted color scheme going on here. And then a new knife block as well. Some lovely swatches to go along with it. Then you have these little plates, and they are clearly, as you can see, stackable. So that is super fun. I made them I stacked them all the way up like that just to see if there was a limit on how far you can stack them. And as far as I can tell, there isn't. So I'm not really sure why you would want to stack them that high, but the option exists should you want to. Now, getting to what we have all been waiting for, the most exciting part of this new pack are the small kitchen appliances. So of course, first we have the waffle maker. It comes in all sorts of fun, colorful swatches. Then we have the pizza maker, which as well, I think they're all just matching swatches. And then the stand mixer. Again, all the colorful swatches, they all match together perfectly, and it is absolutely wonderful. I am super excited to have these things in the game. I can't say that I was hoping specifically for any of these items, but I am thrilled that we have them in the game. And it's just one of those items. I feel like kitchen stuff is just such an applicable thing for Sims. All of my Sims cook. Always. There's always at least one Sim in any household that cooks. So all of these items are just super usable in my regular gameplay style. So I've found, in the little time that I've played with it already, I found these to be super, super beneficial into my gameplay and they just fit in so well with how I already play the game, which is something I definitely look for in a new pack and whether or not I'm going to buy it. How well does it fit with what I already do in the game now? And for me, it fits in great. I do a lot of family kind of playstyle or quote-unquote ordinary playing, so a kitchen pack was right up my alley. And then, last but not least, certainly not least, we have the food stall. So again, this also has some really lovely swatches that go with it. Some a little bit more themed towards a specific kind of food, like we have the pizza one here. Then we have, obviously, a waffle one here. But otherwise, super easy, super versatile to use, and you can use this with any food item. It is not limited to only the food items that come with this pack. You can sell any kind of food at this food stall anywhere you like. Again, I just love that it's versatile. Yes, it's designed to go with this pack. Yes, it's designed to go with these specific items, with these small appliances to make waffles and pizzas, but you could make anything here. I tried it out in one of my save files and just had the person cook a gourmet meal, and they were able to sell that there. You can even sell prepped ingredients at this stand. It just adds a new layer to the gameplay, something new and interesting to do instead of just selling things out of your inventory or something like that. And then that, friends, is the end of all the new stuff that comes in this stuff pack, right? All the new things that you can use and place in your homes. The only thing left to talk about is the actual gameplay. So let's dive into that, the most exciting part of this review. So now that we are in live mode, we can check out the new Aspirations. Now, of course, since I have placed a lot, which, by the way, I will link the speed build for this in the description below, as well as have it flashing up on the screen above. It does have some of the appliances, so we've already accomplished one of our goals, own one small kitchen appliance. So this is for the Appliance Whiz, again, which can be found under the food category in the Aspirations menu. So if we take a look at what the requirements are, it's actually really fun and quite difficult. So the first one is pretty simple. You collect prepped ingredients 5 times while inspired, and then own a small kitchen appliance. Level 2 is Slicer and Dicer, and the first requirement is to experience sped up cooking 5 times, and then the other one is to collect 3 prepped ingredients that were made using fresh ingredients. So diving into that first one, another brand new feature introduced in this stuff pack is the whole concept of prepped ingredients and how they impact cooking times for recipes. With Home Chef Hustle, you can select the cook or bake options from the fridge or stove, and when choosing a recipe, if you have the necessary prepped ingredients, you'll see this little indication that says cooking time reduced. Do that 5 times and you can easily achieve this milestone. The second one is relatively self-explanatory, and it works really well in conjunction with the Simple Living lot trait that came with the Country Living expansion pack. If you prep ingredients using any fresh ingredients, be that produce you've grown, eggs or milk you've collected, or meats you've had delivered, you'll check this milestone off in no time. Level 3 is Flavor Fusionist, and to complete this milestone you have to 1. Collect 1 excellent quality prepped ingredient, which is easy enough if your skill and or the fresh ingredients you used are high enough quality. 2. Cook 5 times while listening to music, no need for explanation there. And 3. Cook meals using 6 unique prepped ingredients, which if we look back on the stand mixer itself, we can see there are a total of 8 prepped ingredients. So completing that should be easy peasy. The final level is Mixing Maestro. It has 3 requirements. 1. Cook pleasantly unpleasant waffles, which requires a few extra special ingredients and level 10 cooking skill. 2 is make a prepped ingredient using a stand mixer with at least 1 upgrade, which the easiest upgrade for the stand mixer requires level 4 handiness skill. The last requirement is to cook 2 pizzas or waffles at a single gold social event after reaching silver, which is a very weirdly specific requirement that sounds like it'll take a bit of finesse to achieve. The other new aspiration, again, is found under the Fortune category in the Aspirations panel, and like most aspirations, it has a total of 4 levels. Level 1 is Carb Commerce, and has 2 simple requirements. 1, run a food sale from a residential lot, and 2, sell 5 excellent pizzas or waffles during a food sale. Both are quite simple, and you'll likely achieve them without even trying. Level 2 is Nom Nom Nomad, which also has 2 requirements. The first being to run a food sale at 2 different lots, which, by the way, if you're curious, your home lot does count as 1 lot. The second one is to convince customers to buy something 5 times during a food sale. And it does not have to be done all at one food sale. I haven't gotten time to test this yet, but I imagine this works better the higher your charisma and or entrepreneur skill is. Level 3 is Hustling Hawker, and it has 3 requirements. Earn $500 during a single food sale, tend a food sale more than 6 hours, and sell a poor quality item for $100. The first is quite simple, though may require either a high markup or a higher cooking or baking skill. The second is by far the easiest, as running just 2 food sales should complete this just fine. Each food sale has a specific amount of time that it runs for, just like any other event, so I can't remember the exact amount of time each one is for, but doing 2 should cover it. The last one is the most difficult, if only because if you're leveled up high enough, it might be hard to make a poor quality item, but enlisting an unskilled friend should help with this. The final level is Street Stall Sage, which is by far the most unique aspiration milestone I think I've ever seen in the game. It has one of the most particular and specific requirements I've ever seen, and it will likely take a lot of work to achieve. That first one is to resurrect a ghost by selling ambrosia. This will not only require you to max both the cooking and gourmet cooking skill, but to also buy a potion of youth and catch an angelfish. But that's not all. Once you've actually cooked the ambrosia, you'll also need to have a ghost sim even show up at your food sale at all, and then they have to buy the ambrosia you're selling. I can think of a few tricks that might make this go a little bit more smoothly, but I'll leave those for y'all to discover on your own. The next is to earn $10,000 by completing food sales. And the final one is to sell 1 item for $300. I'd hazard a guess that by the time you complete the first one of these, selling ambrosia to a ghost, you'll have certainly completed the last 2, and if not, selling the ambrosia should complete all 3 of these at once, honestly. Now, as far as all the new things coming to this pack, that is it. The only thing left to do now is show you a little bit of the gameplay, and then I'll give you my final thoughts and whether or not I think this pack is worth it. Spoiler alert, I definitely think it is. But let's jump into some gameplay so you can decide for yourself. So as far as the gameplay is concerned, I personally love it. Obviously, everyone's playstyle is going to be a little bit different, but for more simple gameplay, family stuff, and things like that, this pack is absolutely wonderful. The new appliances are easy to fit into any household and any playstyle since they're small. And while some recipes certainly require a lot of work, most can be made by any sim and don't require any new skills or anything like that. And the food stall is a great addition. I think many people were disappointed that in Dine Out, you couldn't actually be the one to cook the meals at your restaurant, and you couldn't have one run at your home. And while this isn't quite on that level of intricacy, it certainly fills part of that void left by Dine Out. You can now prepare the meals yourself and sell them immediately, which is really, really cool. It makes for a great addition to legacy gameplays where you start with little to no money, and rags to riches type gameplay as well. And getting started with it is relatively simple. All you need is the food stand and any food item made with any appliance. Again, you don't have to sell food made with the new appliances. Anything grilled, cooked, or baked, as well as the new pizzas and waffles, can be sold at the food stall. However, as with pretty much every pack in The Sims, there's a few oddities. When I first played around with it, I had an issue where NPCs would constantly come behind the counter and start making their own food with my new small appliances, and then promptly run off with them without paying, which was a major nuisance. I even tried to put walls around 3 sides of it, having it only open from the front, and a door even locked so only my sim could get in or out, and in the end, the NPCs were still just able to squeeze between the wall and the food stand and get in anyway. And it created a lot of unnecessary chaos. Though unfortunately at this point, that's a bit par for the course as far as The Sims 4 goes. While I love The Sims 4 dearly, everything is pretty buggy these days, with several packs still inherently broken. Looking at you, Wedding Stories. The easiest way I've found to avoid this problem is just by storing the appliances back in my inventory when not actively cooking with them, which is a pretty simple solution to a very annoying problem. And the 2 new aspirations are super cool, though as mentioned before, very specific to this pack, which I guess really just makes sense. But they do add some cool perks. And I will say this, they are difficult. The selling the ambrosia to a ghost turned out to be much harder than I anticipated when I tried it myself. But that's a challenge I'll allow you all to discover on your own, or you can spoil it for yourself elsewhere. All I will say is that if you're against using cheats, good luck. All in all, the pack is solid. While $10 alone doesn't sound like a lot, in the context of just how many packs there are for The Sims, it's not a decision to be made lightly either. Those $10 packs can really sneak up on you, and before you know it, you've spent $100 on The Sims in one go. But in my most humble opinion, this pack is worth that price point. It adds a ton of fun new recipes and gameplay mechanics that add a bit more realism to The Sims. Having prepped ingredients that shorten cook time for recipes is just chef's kiss, literally. I know for a fact I will get a ton of use out of just the new recipes and the appliances, which makes this pack worth it all on its own. And the food stall and the accompanying aspirations add a really fun challenge to The Sims. And that is it for my final review of the Sims 4 Home Chef Hustle Stuff Pack. Worth the $10 easily, especially with the Home Chef aspect, really boosting the value of this pack. The Hustle could be a little bit better, but still a solid addition to the game that I deem worth it. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have, I would love it if you'd consider leaving a like below, as it really helps the channel. And if you're feeling particularly chatty, let me know what you think about the pack yourself. Have you already bought it? And if so, what's your favorite part? And if you haven't yet, what's been holding you back? Did I convince you to give it a shot? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more videos like this, and enjoy other Sims 4 content, consider subscribing to the channel for more. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.